Welcome. In this video, we're going to cover some basics of Fusion 360 as you make your CNC cut sign or project, perhaps, of your choice for Woods 2 class. So you can see on my screen here, I've already opened up Fusion. Go ahead, pause this video, get Fusion opened up. It may take a second. Right? I'm going to assume if you're back and listening to my video, you've got Fusion opened up. What I'd like you to do now is check up on the top here where it says Autodesk Fusion that you have got an education license. If it says trial period, we're going to want to get that taken care of before you create stuff because your trial period files don't translate over to your education files. So make sure it says education license up at the top. The other thing I'd like you to do is down here in our drawing environment, once you've closed out all the video tutorials that it may suggest, I want you to come over to document settings right away. Right? Click that arrow. You're going to hover over where it says unit and then click the pencil and sheet of paper, and you want to change your unit type to inches, right? It probably is defaulted to millimeters unless you've been in Fusion and done some stuff before, right? So change it to inch, and then go ahead and check that set as default button, right? Mine's already there, so I don't need to worry about it, but you're definitely going to want to design in inches. So yesterday in class or in a previous class, you should have come up with a sketch of what you'd like your project to look like. We're going to use that sketch. We're going to reference it at a few different times here. So we're going to come over to the top. We've got our environment here. We want to make sure we're in our design environment. If it doesn't say design, you can click this drop down and you can toggle back to design. And then on our toolbar up top, we're going to click this button to start a sketch. All right, now that's going to show 3 planes on our screen. We want to make sure that we are drawing on the XY plane. Right? Probably the easiest way to do that is come over to this view cube, click the top button. You'll notice it rotates the screen, and now this is the plane that looks like a square. Right? So I want to click on that plane that looks like a square, and the computer is going to bring me into sketch mode, and we're going to start off by sketching a rectangle that's the size of your overall sign. Right? So I'm clicking the rectangle button. Now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to hover where these red and green lines cross. That's my origin. I'm going to click once, drag my cursor up, and then I'm not clicking. I'm not holding down on the button. So it was just a click once. I'm not touching the keyboard. Now I can enter in the horizontal and the vertical, or the width and the height that I want my sign to be. Okay, remember, you can make this thing up to 48 by 48 inches if you want. If you want to go smaller, you can. So I'm going to make this one 18 by 18-inch sign. So I typed 18, and then I'm clicking the tab key to toggle between those two boxes. You'll notice my square totally disappeared on me. So now I'm using the stylus. You could pinch on your screen to zoom in and out here too, to just zoom my camera out and make sure those two boxes say 18 by 18, right? Or whatever size you want your sign to be. If they don't say what you want, you can again hit the tab button. You can override it when it's highlighted. If you like what you got, go ahead and hit that enter key. All right. If you hit that enter key and you realize, oh, this number is not what I wanted. Maybe this one here says 19 instead of 18. You can double click on those dimensions and you can go back and change them. Right. So I'm going to hit the undo button because I did that kind of quick. All right. I'm in sketch mode. So at this point, if you want just a square sign, you could click this finish sketch button. I'm going to show you how to make a circular shape sign here. So I wanted to draw this square first because I want to get the bottom of my square right down here on the origin. That's going to help when we go to the CNC. So if you want to make a sign that's not square, now we can go back and draw that other shape in. All right, so I'm going to, again, do a circle. I'm trying to kind of hover over the center points. You can see where that little triangle shows up. There I'm lined up on the 2 center points. So now I'm going to take my circle, and I've got snaps turned on. So this will just snap to the outside edge and give me an 18-inch circle. Right. You could also do this by typing in the measurement and hitting enter. If it doesn't look like it's perfectly aligned after you hit enter, oops, like that one's not. I can go to the dimension tool, all right, and I can change that dimension. I'm going to make that 18. Now it fits nice. So if you got a shape you'd like your sign to be that's not a rectangle, go ahead, try drawing it out yourself. If you're unsure of how to do that, I would say come check with your instructor. Right? A few of you wanted yours to be cut out like a fish or like the shape of Wisconsin or Lake Superior. To do that, we're going to need to get a file type called a DXF and import it in here. I can show you how to do that individually. We can talk about some strategies. So if that's something you're interested in, at this point, you'd want to come talk to your instructor. All right. So we're going to assume on your screen right now, whether it's a circle, a square, an outline of the state of Connecticut, whatever it might be, it's what you want your sign to look like. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to say finish sketch. All right. I'm going to click on this house here. This is going to kind of change my sketch to a 3D view. And now I'm going to turn it into a 3D object by going to the extrude key. And now remember, I drew this square just as kind of a placeholder. I wanted to reference where that origin was, but I just want my sign to be circular shape. Right, so at this point, I'm going to click on the circle, right, and I'm going to extrude this in a downward direction. Right, so I could grab that grip and I could try and pull it to a precise measurement. That's kind of tricky to do. So what I'm going to recommend you do is enter in a negative number in here. Right? So if we're using the Epicurean material, it's between 1/4 and 1/8 of an inch thick. We're just going to go minus 0.25, minus 0.25, and we'll use that as a placeholder. Right? So this is kind of the outline of my sign. If I like what I've got here, I'm going to change this to new component, and then I'm going to click on OK, and you can see I've got that circle showing up on my screen. And so I've got the outline of my sign. The last thing I want to do in this video is I'm going to go to save. All right, and under location, yours might say default. If you've used Fusion before, you might have some different locations here. I'm going to click on this drop down, and it'll open up a bunch of options for me. All right, and then I'm going to go down here where I've got some of those options. I'm going to click on new project, and I'm going to call this my Woods to CNC sign. All right, and then I'm going to click on the save button. Oh, no, I'm going to click enter. I'm going to wait patiently. All right, now I want up here for this location, whoops, I want this to say Woods 2 CNC sign. So if I click on here, you can see it changes this location. So that's like I'm saving it in a folder. Now I'm going to come up here and I'm going to call this sign V1. Right? Some of you might just use your version 1 of the sign. Some of you might have, multiple files in here. You might start and then change your mind. A few of you have even talked to me about doing some layered ones where we're doing multiple cuts. So if you've got multiple files for this project, you would save them in this location. So we're going to go ahead and click save. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen for this video, and we'll pick it up with one more video where we put some text into our sign.